Blackburn Rovers make it 2 wins out of 2 as they take care of Barnsley to move into the top 10. Can we make that final push to the top 6 into the month of December? We'll take a little look at that and much more next. Right, folks, back once again with another match review. This time looking back at Blackburn Rovers 2-1 win over Barnsley at Ewood Park, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe and get back up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, championship related, football related. We're going to go here under one night sky. It's the night time. The moon is out. The sun is gone, but Rovers are on the bloody climb. That's right. Again, I want a big shout out to the Patreon gang. You know who you are, the VIP gang, supporting the channel behind the bloody scenes. I do appreciate it. In fact, we'll give a big shout out to a brand new patron. That's right, Humphrey is his name. So big shout out to Humphrey for supporting the channel behind the scenes. He knows the bloody deal. So yeah, big shout out. Of course, if anyone else is out there who wants to support the channel behind the bloody scenes and become the latest member of the Broverhood, check out the link down below, patreon.com/Roverseas. So here we go with the bugs, with the frogs, with all kinds of little creatures of the dark. Let's get into this and take a look at this match. Of course, how we got on last time around, then shall we? Of course, kicking it all off, it was a 2-1 win for Rovers. Ewood Park today in a very good performance. It wasn't a good performance. It's a terrible performance from Rovers, especially the first half. In fact, we were the weaker side, I would suspect, heading into the 44th minute. Barnsley were all over us. They never got us a chance to breathe our own Lancastrian air, of course. So yeah, they were all over us. They played the high press, and it actually it doesn't really stay that in the statistics. Of course, possession-wise, Rovers had 63% possession, but of course, if you look at the first half stats, which I don't have in here at the moment, you would see Barnsley were, of course, tip of the top with, of course, possession-wise. 37% for Rovers, for Barnsley. We had 501 passes to their 287. We had a better pass success rate as well, with 74% of all passes reaching the intended target, 56% for Barnsley. But some of the stats also that matter: 23 shots on the day for Barnsley. Just 5 on target. That's a pretty, it's of course very aggressive attack there by Barnsley, but just 5 on target. It's a bit ropey dopey there. Rovers 7 shots on the day, 6 on target and 2 in the back of the net, and those 2 in the back of the net courtesy of Adam Armstrong. Of course, he scores when he bloody wants, of course, to give us the lead on the 44th minute, just to kind of change the whole vibe of the game, to give Rovers the lead. And then we wrapped it up on the 78th minute with substitute coming on, Sam Gallagher, probably with a deflected effort, put it in the back of the net. Let's go back to Armstrong's goal for a second. It was a beautiful goal, lovely pass by Harvey to Ryan Nyambe, and of course down that right hand side, it was one of them. It was the finest of margins, of course, but he got the cross in. Adam Armstrong was on pinpoint in that sort of striker's zone, or the goal hanger's area, and he buried the ball in the back of the net. No mistake from Adam Armstrong to give us a valuable lead. And then when, of course, Sam Gallagher put the ball in the back of the net to make it 2-0, I thought game over, but no. Barnsley made us a little bit nervous at the end there with a 90th minute consolation goal, which could have made it a little bit more dangerous for Rovers as we try to hold on. Romo Palmer coming on there with a 90th minute goal for Barnsley. But unfortunately for them, unfortunately for the blue and white, we held on tight for the big fat 3 points. There's some more stats and figures there for you, of course. Aerial duels won, Barnsley coming out on top with that one, 24 to our 18. They had more dribbles as well and more tackles as well. And yeah, as you can see, some of the names in there. In fact, let's take a look at those starting 11s coming at you, of course, with the host: Kamminski between 6, Douglas, Lennon, Wharton and Nyambe, Tribal, Holtby, Rothwell, Brandon, Brereton, Armstrong and Elliott. A couple of negatives coming out of the game, of course. Douglas was substituted early doors around about 14th, 15th minute mark. On tonight came Amari Bell, and he did alright actually. Amari Bell, of course, two different kind of players. Your Douglas is more experienced, more composed. You know what you're going to get, and of course he's got set piece ability and all that. On the flip side, Amari Bell comes into us with a bit of bag of energy. Of course, he likes to go forward, likes to drive. He's got silky skills and all that kind of stuff. A little bit less composed and a little bit less focused than Douglas. But of course, it's good to have that depth, especially with scenarios just like that. Also, Scotty Wharton picked up a head injury in the second half, which saw Hayden Carter come on for a cameo, and he also did very well. Of course, unfortunately, we did concede speed with Carter on the field, so it's not the greatest bit of stuff in him. So we did lose that goal. We did lose that clean sheet. But yeah, my match ratings for the match, of course, Kamminski, very, very well. Without him, we would be in a shit creek, of course. I give him an 8 out of 10. I think he was my man of the match, to be honest with you. Very, very, some major saves, of course, keeping us in the points with his athleticism and commanding of the area. He is proven to be the signing of the season. In fact, we've missed a goalkeeper of his quality for a number of years, even with the likes of David Raya, who was good. He was young though, and then Christian Morton coming in, and he was pretty decent as well. But again, he was a loanee. You go back to Jason Steele, you go back to Paul Robinson. I think Paul Robinson was a decent keeper. He was experienced. He was in his twilight years though. But Kamminski's young. He's commanding. He looks like he belongs at this level, if not higher. And hopefully for us, we've got him for 2 or 3 seasons, and maybe his presence and composure can steer us to the right level. And to be honest with you, I think we've mugged some other team off out in Belgium for this guy. I think he's absolutely solid. Of course, Douglas only could have a 5. It was only on there for 15 minutes, so unfortunately I didn't get to see much of him. Lenihan got himself a 6 as well. Wharton was a 7 until the injury. Of course, Ryan Niambi with an 8 with a deadly assist. Of course, Chilwell did. Donkey with 7. Holtby was 6. Didn't think he was that effective today. Rothwell also with a 6. He only had a couple of driving runs, but again, too little, too late. It was very much a defensive performance for Barnsley Rovers, but that's good. You need to not only. It goes to show that we don't always have to put on the Barnstorming displays of 3-0, 4-0, whatever. To grind out a result like this, it shows that we could be in for this for the long haul. Of course, Brereton with a 7, of course, Chile's new favourite star, of course, Armstrong with a 7, and Elliott with a 6. Again, he didn't really see too much of him. I think it was probably a game too far for him. I thought we should have started with Gallagher, but that's easy to say after the fact. Of course, could look at the opposition then, shall we? Walton between the sticks, not that Walton, but another Walton. Anson, Helich and Solbayer, the back 3 there with Styles, Mowat, Kane and Britton make up the back 4. Thomas, Woodrow and Chaplin were your starting 11s there. Mowat, unfortunately, we didn't get to see the best of him. Who was the goal scorer? I can't remember. This Palmer wasn't a substitute, I think. Woodrow and Chaplin they drew a blank, fortunately for us, because they will know where the back of the net is. And I'm content with the result. I'm actually very happy deep down, because I thought this could have been a banana skin, and it does make us unbeaten in 5 now, heading into the Millwall game, of course, on Tuesday or Wednesday I think it is, at Ewood Park. So, and hopefully, fingers crossed, if all goes well, we won't be here in the boonies. We'll be back home, and eventually we can get the games back on our watch along. So stand by for that. I'll let you know close to the date if that's going to be a watch along or not. Kicking on forward, there's some more stats and figures there for you, of course. Passes, we have 710 touches there for 90, 501 passes there, 287, of course. And it tells you whereabouts the shots took place and all that kind of jazz. So that's for your leisure. Browse that to your leisure. Of course, this is the heat maps. I was expecting a bit more from Barnsley's heat map, to be honest with you, but they did so a lot of the ball, and again, it wasn't much in their defensive third. Am I looking at that right? Look at Kamminski and our back 4 there. That area has been pressed highly, and unfortunately for us, we held on tight for the 3 points. Could have been so much more different than that. But anyway, that's a little bit of what I have about to say. What about the gaffer, Tony Mowbray? What do you think about the match? Give me your thoughts and opinion now.
Yeah, ultimately I said that to the team afterwards. Sometimes you have to find a way to win in their scruffy games, and we lacked the fluency that we showed the other night. Every team's got a different way of playing, and I said with total respect, we're not Man City or Liverpool that can totally dominate every football match. They give us problems. They did to us what we've done to a lot of teams, to be honest. Took us out of our rhythm, cut our passing lines off, made life really difficult. And we know they're quite sharp and clever on quick transition. Their strikers are up and play one touch and flick round the corner and create chances, and it was a dangerous game for us. And I'm a bit upset with their very late goal, of course, because a clean sheet against these would have been a real feather in the cap for the defensive unit today and the goalkeeper. But still, the 3 points, I've said to them, let's put the points in the bag, let's move on, let's not overly look into this game. We knew it was a certain type of match that was going to be difficult and awkward, and we've come through it with the points. Yeah, because you play against such diverse teams, really. Some total football teams, some very long direct ball teams. These are a high pressing transition team that on transition can give you problems, and we managed and coped it all right today, and we came away with the 3 points. I think the goal against these at any time is really important, I think, to get ourselves in front, because I always feel they were going to create some chances and give us a problem, and it wasn't a game where I felt we were totally in control. They were never going to score. I always felt on any one bad pass they could break away and score, and yeah, as they ultimately did score, and thankfully we'd already got the second by then, which was amazing. Sam Gallagher, delighted for him, and yeah, let's, as I've said to the team, let's put the points in the bag. Let's move on to the next game. There'll be not easier games, but there'll be different games along the way, and games that we can win, and they're not all going to be as tough as that, because I don't think if they're as tough as that every week, you win some, lose some, draw some, really, and but we've been a bit better than that, I think. Delighted for Sam, as I said. I think he's it was a tough decision to put him on the bench today, to be honest, and yet the way we tried to set up, which ultimately I said to the team at half time, I think we probably got it wrong, the way we tried to set up and try and play our wide players really wide and stretch their back five. We've been playing our wide players pretty narrow and attacking inside spaces, but it didn't really work. They worked extraordinarily hard from the front, and we couldn't get the ball past their front line really into our strikers, and so we changed a few things, and we were a bit better second half, but still it was still a grind against a very young, energetic team that will give teams problems this year. Just in a couple of weeks, really, 10 days period of, because I think sitting on the sideline watching the team scoring goals, winning matches, is almost a bit difficult for some strikers, I think, and then especially when he's having to sit on the bench, and sometimes he wasn't coming on and the team were functioning pretty well, but to impact the last 3 games, I think, as much as he has been fantastic for him. And listen, there was never an intention in my mind that Sam Gallagher wasn't going to impact our team. My first thoughts are generally Armstrong, Gallagher and Brereton are our players, our strikers, with a Dolan. We've obviously got Bradley Dack coming, we've got Harvey Elliott, we've got some good players. We can play Rothwell higher in that line if we need to. We've got some good attacking players, and they all have to play their part as we move on. Delighted for him as well. I mean, because the assists number is something that we talk to Ryan a lot about. If you look at a like of a Trent Alexander-Arnold or a Andy Robertson at Liverpool, their assist numbers are massive. You know, they're assisting 20, 30 goals a season, and Ryan over the last few years has hardly assisted any goals, and so, you know, Belly nearly scored today as well, which we'd have had the flags out, I think. It's but for Ryan to get to the byline, cut it back, and Armour to do what he does was fantastic for Ryan and great for the team. So I think he knows how strong he is, how powerful he is, and that's his main attribute. I think that running power, them when he's one-on-one against somebody, you don't ever feel he's going to get knocked off the ball or people are going to be faster than him. He's a machine, really, and we just have to keep working on the technical side of his game, really. His ability to flip balls down the side, ability to pick people out in the box like he did today, because of all the physical attributes are there with Ryan Nyambe, and he's a brilliant lad as well, and we're all desperate for him to do really well. Time will tell on them. As I stand here not long after the end of the game, we'll assess them tomorrow. We'll have a look. I think Barry, it was more of a glute, really. You know, he's the muscle in his backside that which was just giving him a bit of uncomfortable on the running action. We'll have to wait and see. He'll probably have a scan and we'll see what it is, whether there's a slight tear in there or whether it's just fatigue. A lot of fatigue injuries at the moment for every club, not just ours. I think Scotty just took a bang, really, a clash of heads. I think he's fine. I hope he's going to be fine. He's chatting away in there. He didn't lose any consciousness or anything. I think it was a precaution, really, and hopefully he'll be have a good night's sleep. He won't show any symptoms, and hopefully we'll see probably on Monday if he's training or not.
Well, what's been going on social media? We'll take a little gander of it then, shall we? Give me a minute. Give me a bloody minute. So let's take a little look at it, shall we? Go. Here we bloody go. Let's crawl the way back. In fact, I need to click on my likes, don't we? That's what we need. That's if you get a like from me on the old Twitter, then you know you might feature in the show. Let's scroll all the way back here. We're going to go all the way back to around about here. Wegley's Wiggle. He said this Kamminski man of the match. I can't think of anyone else that stood out. Scrappy but vital win. Mr. Nobody said this crucial win there. Delighted for Galley. 3 go for the season. Armour still on fire. Not a great performance, but shows we can thrash teams and grind out results. Get in. Meanwhile, Matchday 365 said this 5 games unbeaten. Best goal difference in the league. Top goal scorer in the league. Life is good. That's Rovers, of course. Adam Tamtuki said this. Yes, lads. In some ways, a better win than Preston. Got to grind out results like that over a season. Keep the momentum. Rovers. Simon Woodford said this. Buzzing. Sign of a good team when you don't play well and win. Meanwhile, Gaz, a.k.a. S27GDM, said this. TFFT last season. I don't know what that means. I don't know. Last season, we would have lost that. Nice to grind out a win. We're not at our best. Well done, lads. Ben Smith said this. Dogged display. Squad depth being shown, even with injuries, with Dak and Travis to come back especially. Who can tell us we shouldn't be in an argument this bloody season? Anthony Richardson said this. Well done, Tommy K. To some good saves. If you hadn't saved those, we would have lost. Callum Atkins said this. Nice to see we can find a way to win when it ain't going well on the balance of play. We lack this sort of quality for years. Rovers found this. Said this. Yeah, we got away with it a bit today, but the win was the most important thing. Need to follow it up on Tuesday. I bloody hope it's Wednesday. Elliot Bennett, of course, El Capitano, no, not in the team with an injury. Search Google, please. Show me what a living Northern Angel looks like. Google has found one suggestion. Is this right? And a picture of Adam Armstrong there, as you can see. Chris Master, this Gents manager must prefer brown sauce. Me, Tommy K, every day of the week. And this Skybet Championship showing Rovers move up 3 places tonight. We'll take a look at the table in a minute. And then, of course, Rovers. Bits and pieces there. So yeah, that's of course on Twitter. Of course, there's more. I'm sure a lot of more vocal stuff going on. Let's take a look at what else is going on out in the Championship. Of course, still one game left to play. That is on Sunday. Brentford did take on QPR and they won 2-1 winners over QPR on Friday night. Reading got back to winning ways with a 3-1 win over Bristol City. The Majeski to move themselves back into the top 2 contention. Birmingham 0, Millwall 0 in the Gary Rowett derby, I think. Norwich 1, Coventry 1, late equaliser there for Coventry to upset the apple there. Actually, it was quite a good day for Rovers if we're trying to look at top 6 and top 2 perhaps. Cardiff 4-0 winners, though they got back to winning ways in convincing style. Of course, Sheffield Wednesday started the totally Pewlers derby ended up at 0-0. Watford 4-1 winners over Preston. They are your biggest winners probably in the top 6. Huddersfield 3, Middlesbrough 2. That's a surprise defeat there. Derby 1, Wycombe 1, Wayne Rooney FC. It doesn't look like they're going to be doing too well so far. Rotherham 2, Bournemouth 2 as well. A big late equaliser perhaps for Rotherham there. And of course, Rovers 2-1 wins over Barnsley. Nottingham Forest take on Swansea, of course. That's a fruity one. Maybe, just maybe. Chris Houghton could do a number on Swansea to slow their promotion push as they currently find themselves in 7th. And a win for them, they could actually see them go up as high as 3rd in the table. But Norwich City are your leaders despite having a bit of a hiccup today. Bournemouth also having a bit of a hiccup as well. So just the 1 point gain for them. Watford are up to 3rd, running up to 4th. Bristol City 5th and Brentford are 6th. Rovers up to 9th. Happy days with that. Derby, Sheffield Wednesday and Wycombe are going down. Of course, today's opponents, Barnsley in 16th spot. Of course, it could all change very, very soon, of course. And to the next round of matches, of course, Tuesday, and Rovers are on Wednesday. Get in there. Took that day off. We need that. I need to be there. Of course, Cardiff City against Huddersfield. That's on Tuesday night. Birmingham against Barnsley, of course. Bournemouth against Preston. QPR against Bristol City. Derby against Coventry. Rotherham against Brentford, of course. Middlesbrough against Swansea until Wednesday night. Wycombe against Stoke. Nottingham Forest against Watford. Luton Town against Norwich. Sheffield Wednesday against Reading and Blackpool. Blackpool? Shame on me. Shame on Blackburn Rovers taking on Millwall, of course, at Ewood Park, of course. So Barnsley, where did that just blitz? They're taking on Birmingham in the Battle of the Bees, of course. So, of course, that's what's happening around the corner out in the Championship. But, of course, right here, right now, we are celebrating another 3 points. I'm happy with that. I'm still on the road for another 24 hours, I think. Well, no, it's actually a little bit longer than that. We start our journey back tomorrow, and then we'll be back, hopefully, Monday at some point. Hopefully, you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that thumbs up. But, of course, if you're new, bang your subscribe and hit your bang related. All things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, woo, football related. We're all here under the night sky. Yes, with me. It's like a children's story. Under the night sky with Blackburn Rovers Seas. And we're going to tell you about the Barnsley loss. Or win, should I say. We won. I'm used to saying loss. But anyway, that's it, my friends. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'll be back very, very soon. We'll have the match preview. I don't know. I might wait a day. I might bang it out on Monday because I'll be back and I'll be in my surroundings and it gives me a chance to do other things and play catch up with and pick shows. Anyway, that's it. Until then, I'll be sure to give the video some smash thumbs up, smash subscribe. I'll see you all on the other side. Be safe out there. Mask up. Be safe. Safe.